If you choose, in any given moment, you're being handed the keys to your destiny, quite literally. What we don't understand is that the destiny, the person that we want to be, the experience that we want to be having already exists. It's a certain wavelength, a certain frequency, a certain version of yourself that you could step into if you chose. But you have to choose that with conviction. You have to choose that knowing that it already exists. You have to play the role. I want you to think about this word play. Remember when we were children and we would play make believe? And it could get so deep when you were a child that you would be immersed in that role. Like you could be anything that you wanted. Like, oh, you're the president, you're a firefighter, you're an airplane pilot, whatever it is. Your childhood imagination would put you into that role, and that's who you were. No one could tell you otherwise. You stepped into that. But the difference between being a child and being an adult is recognizing the power that one holds in this realm that comes with maturity. See, as a child, we could ask like, well, why didn't we manifest those things, right? Like, well, why didn't we become the president or the firefighter when we were kids, right? And that's because we were not at a point where we were mature enough as beings to actually step into the roles that requires. But that's the interesting thing about being adults, being grown-ups. It's that now we have the maturity that we need to step into whatever role that we choose to play, but we don't play. We're always so serious, doing things that must be done, taking care of the business, right? But we never want to step into those roles and play make believe because maybe we're thinking about what people around us are thinking, right? There's even that part of our consciousness that's we're subconsciously judging ourselves and putting ourselves in a place of, oh, what do they think? What are they thinking about me playing make believe? About me getting into this role, about me playing this person and deciding that I'm this character. But my friends, we have to uninstall that program. We have to recognize that we have the power to play literally whatever role that we want. We can step into it, and the key is to decide with conviction. First off, it's to decide and to recognize what you're done with, what you're no longer willing to put up with, what you're no longer willing to go through as an experience. Because a lot of us, we might feel lost in this place where we have just in some way conformed to what already is, conformed to systems and ideas that are keeping our consciousness in a prison, right? Keeping us locked up, keeping the light refracting in a way where we might not be manifesting what we want. We might be having an experience that's just not enjoyable because we forgot to play. We forgot we're playing a role. Now, don't take this word play as something insignificant, as okay, that's not really serious, right? That's not valid because it's just playing, and playing can't be serious. Playing can be very serious. To play the part means to have the energy that is light. That means to have fun, to enjoy what you're doing, because it doesn't matter as much what you're doing, but it matters the person that you are when you show up to do that thing. Okay? I'll say that again. It does not matter as much what you're choosing to do. It matters who you're choosing to be when you show up to do that thing. Who are you? Who is the person that you are? Because I mean, you could show up to do, let's say you want to be the CEO of a company or something like that, but if you show up and you're just an entry level whatever, you don't see yourself as the CEO, as the high person of that, you're not matching the role, you're not playing the part, right? The audience is going to think you suck. But remember, you're the audience. You're the only one whose opinion matters. Say you want to start your own business, but you're still showing up to that business like you need someone to tell you how to run that business or to tell you what you need to be doing. But you want to be in charge. You have to take charge. So you want to be an artist. And you're just waiting for something to happen to be validated in some way to say that you can play that part. You can go and do that thing, right? There are rules and there are regulations, there are boundaries in this world, and we have to abide by them to the degree that we step into the role that we are choosing. Don't let the boundaries in the system put you into a certain role because you're not currently the character that you want to be. When you choose to be the character that you want to be, you're in fact stepping into your destiny, which is something that is already aligned for you because, as I said, this pathway already exists for you on a different timeline, on a different frequency that is happening right now. But you have to choose it. You have to become that person in the now moment. And when you do, when you really choose that, you will become a different frequency. You're going to shift. You're going to start aligning with the things, the possibilities, the ideas that actually match that thing that you're deciding to be. Okay? Now, it's like I said about how we were, as children, much more willing and able to play, much more willing and able to just believe, like, now I'm this and now I'm this and I can be whatever I want. Now that we're adults, we've become solidified. We become more rigid in what we believe, unwilling to step into these new frequencies and these new ideas, but we now have the maturity to actually handle the manifestation on a much higher level. Right? As a child, you might have been like, I'm a race car driver, and maybe you had like a little plastic steering wheel, or you had a little like pedal go-kart or something like that. And that was the degree that you could handle that manifestation because of the level of spiritual involvement, the level of human development. Because reality is always going to match what we're ready for, right? What we're able to handle. It's going to put you in a position and in situations that match what you're able to handle. But now that you're grown up, now that you've become more spiritually mature, which I assume you have some level of spiritual growth, if you're even watching this video to this point, it means that you're actually ready to handle the next step. You're ready to receive the next phase by playing the better part. Be a better actor. And an actor doesn't mean that you're being fake here. It doesn't mean that you're trying to fool yourself into thinking that you're this. It's to recognize that you're already that. What you are, what we are, is consciousness. It is awareness. So to recognize that even the role that maybe you don't want to be playing is acting, that coincides with and makes you realize that the role that you want to play is also just a part that you want to play. It's a version of yourself that does exist, and you can choose to have it, which is why, like I said at the start of this video, we have the key. But we have to choose to unlock the door. We have to choose to step through it. And that means deciding right now who you're going to be and how it's going to be and what your life is going to be about, because it is available for you. Most people don't know this. They're going through life on autopilot. They're sleepwalking. They are zombies. They don't see that they're just in a stupor of unconsciousness, going through the cycles, going through the motions, wonder why nothing's changing for me. Remember, this is about creation, and creation involves a yin and a yang, a masculine and a feminine. It involves the physical and the non-physical. So maybe you could be working at something super hard, but it might not be panning out the way that you want to, because let's say you really don't believe that you can do it on this other side. You're not in the vibration of what it is that you're working on and that being successful. So that thing's not successful. You might just be working and going in circles and not getting anywhere with it. Or maybe it's really slow progress. Likewise, maybe you're trying to manifest and you're just in this frequency and you're thinking about it and you're visualizing and you're putting yourself into the feeling of that, but you're not doing anything about it. You're not taking the action. You're not taking the steps. So likewise, nothing's going to happen. But they have to come together. Life requires balance. Creation requires balance. We have to take the yin, we have to take the yang and put them together. We have to take the non-physical, we have to take the physical and put them together. We have to think, feel, and act like the person who has what it is that we want. Okay? I hope that all makes sense. That's all I got for today. And take care. We'll talk soon.